This is Showtime Sean Porter.
This is Aerosmith Jr.
Hey everyone, this is Jesse Vargas.
And you're watching True School Sports.
You're watching True School Sports.
And you're watching True School Sports.
Stay tuned.
My flow, my show brought me the dough that brought me all my fancy things, my crib, my cars, my clothes, my jewels. Look, homie, I done came up and I ain't changing. You should love it way more than you hate it. Oh, you mad? I thought that you'd be happy I made it.
Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, but first of all, before I proceed with the video, let me give you a biggest shout out to everybody who has been along the ride and helped me hit 20,000 subscribers. Big milestone, so thank you guys for that. Also, big shout out to Champion, got me a new Champion t-shirt, so big shout out to Champion. But wanted to talk about Gulliermo Rigondeaux versus Julio Ceja. Now, this is when I didn't make any videos about this fight before it happened, but this was the one fight on that Fox PBC card last night that I was really excited about because Rigondeaux hasn't fought in quite some time. Well, I haven't seen him fight in quite some time. You know, Rigondeaux was once a pound-for-pound fighter, caliber fighter. Julio Ceja is a guy that I've always been a kind of a fan of on the low because I remember when Julio Ceja fought Hugo Ruiz in that on the undercard of Santa Cruz versus Mares, and he stopped him in like the 10th or 11th round. That was a really good fight. So I've liked Julio Ceja from that point forward. So I knew that Julio Ceja was going to give Rigondeaux a tough fight. Look at that red bridge over there. Nice little red bridge. But I knew Julio Ceja was going to give Rigondeaux a tough fight because of the fact that Ceja comes forward, he's tough. He's actually kind of an underrated technical fighter. Like his punches come from an educated place, but you know, Ceja was going to give Rigondeaux a tough problem. And the thing with Rigondeaux, if you had a chance to watch the fight, is Rigondeaux didn't do himself any favors. Like pretty much Rigondeaux, he didn't do himself any favors. He pretty much stood right there in the pocket. He was trading with Julio Ceja, and he made Ceja's life a lot easier. I mean, I had Ceja winning rounds after rounds. You know, he would sit there right in the pocket, go to the body, come up the top, 3, 4 punch, 5 punch combinations. I mean, it was crazy to watch because there's so many fights in Rigondeaux's career. Like, I'll give you an example. There's so many fights in Rigondeaux's career where you cannot pay that man. You cannot pay Rigondeaux to sit in the pocket. And I think I saw him sit in the pocket in this fight more in the first 5, 6, 7 rounds than I've ever seen in his career. So he made Julio Ceja's life a lot easier, and because of that, I feel like Julio Ceja was winning rounds. And even if he wasn't doing that, Julio Ceja still would have been a dangerous fighter because Julio Ceja knows how to pressure fighters. He's very well schooled as far as where his punches come from. He's a good combination puncher. But Rigondeaux was making his, again, it's like the 10th time, Rigondeaux was making his life a lot easier. You see what I'm saying? So it was what it was there. You know, this became like a knockout, drag down affair because these guys were low blowing each other quite frequently. The referee took away a point from both fighters for the low blow, and that's just the kind of fight it was. You feel me? So it was a really entertaining fight. I was saying to my dad, because me and my dad were sitting there, we were watching it on Fox. Me and my dad were watching it, and I was telling my dad last night, I said, Ceja can beat, because Rigondeaux, one thing last night revealed to us about Rigondeaux is that his legs are not there anymore. His legs are not there. So, you know, I would not be the least bit surprised if this is not, like we see Rigondeaux continue to fight more in the pocket because his legs are shot. He's old. He's got a lot of wear and tear on the legs from the amateurs and the pros. And, you know, I was telling my dad, if Julio Ceja can avoid the left hand for this whole fight, he beats Rigondeaux. If he avoids the left hand, he will outwork and potentially, because Rigondeaux's stamina in the later rounds, I thought would have had to be called into question because Ceja was landing like so many body shots, shots to the head, shots on the ear, shots just everywhere. His work rate was really, really good in this fight, and you know, unfortunately for Julio Ceja, as the fight progressed, he was not able to avoid the left hand. You know, we saw Rigondeaux throw the left hand around the guard of Julio Ceja, catch him on the ear. And eventually, in the 9th round, Rigondeaux, he shot a straight left hand because Julio Ceja threw a jab and it fell short. It was a bit of a lazy jab. And Rigondeaux shot that left hand with everything he had. Bang! Right on the chin of Julio Ceja. And Ceja was knocked down. But he wasn't knocked out. So Ceja gets knocked down in the 9th round. He gets right back up. And as he got right back up, with no problems, he tells the referee ready to go. He gets back up within maybe like 2 seconds of the knockdown. And the referee just waves it off. And it was a horrible, horrible, horrible stoppage. And truthfully speaking, if we want to keep it 100% and call a spade here on True School Sports, Rigondeaux got bailed out by the ref last night. He got bailed the hell out by the referee last night because before that knockdown, I had given Julio Ceja, like, I think it was like he knocked him down in the 8th. So I had given Julio Ceja about 5 or 6 rounds. Like, I had him winning by a good 2 or 3 rounds before that knockdown. And then, the stoppage. So, and I think it would have continued too because, again, Rigondeaux, and I've always said this about Rigondeaux, and that's why I've never rated him highly as a fighter. He's always been a one-handed fighter. Always. He is the mini Adonis Stevenson. And even more so now that his legs aren't there, he is the mini Adonis Stevenson of boxing because everything he does is to set up his left hand. Everything you can think of that he's doing in the ring is to set up his left hand. His jab is not an A-level jab to me. He doesn't have an elite jab. His jab is a rangefinder. He uses it to touch you and find his range so he can load up on the left hand. That's how he's always been, and that's how he is more so than ever now that his legs aren't there. So in knowing this and then seeing how he was fighting Julio Ceja, I said, shit, if he gets avoid the left hand, he beats him. But unfortunately for him, he wasn't able to avoid it. And then he got a bit of bad luck as the referee made a horrible stoppage. So I would personally like to see a rematch. I want to see a rematch for that fight, but I know we're not going to get it because this fight was a WBC eliminator fight for Ray Vargas. So the Rigondeaux would not fight Ray Vargas, which should be a good fight. Ray Vargas is a good fighter. He's beaten a lot of top fighters. So it'd be nice to see Rigondeaux in there with a top guy like Ray Vargas. But man, I'm really pissed off that Julio Ceja did not get a chance to continue because I think he would have continued to fight hard. I think he would have got right back up and he would have given Rigondeaux hell. But the referee bailed him out. And it really, that fight more so than any of the fights last night pissed me off because Julio Ceja was all up in Rigondeaux's ass. And honestly, if you want to keep it a buck, like Julio Ceja might have. I think this is my personal opinion. I think when he got up from the knockdown, because a lot, these Mexicans are a lot of Mexican fighters like this. When they get hit and they get hurt, they come even harder. They continue to go harder. And Ceja was already fighting pretty damn hard, and he was already coming pretty hard after Rigondeaux. But I think if he would have been afforded the chance to continue, he might have folded Rigondeaux up and got him out of there in the latter rounds. I really think he would have came back, and you would have seen a very dramatic ending to the fight. But it's unfortunate. The referees in boxing have a thankless job because they do have to look out for the safety of the fighters, and they also have to make sure that they don't interfere with the fight. So that's a very hard thing to balance. It's a thing that many referees don't know how to do. And it's a thankless job. So, because if the fighter gets the crap beat out of him to the point where his health is no longer there, then it's on you. But then if the fighter stopped prematurely because you're stopping the fight, you're trying to save the fighter from himself, that's also on you. So the referees can't win or lose no matter what they do. But I really, really believe in my heart of hearts, if Julio Ceja would have got a chance to continue, we might have seen a different result because he was beating Rigondeaux. He wasn't just beating him; he was beating him decisively. Like Rigondeaux, that was not like up until those left hands started landing and it knocked him down. That was not a competitive fight. And if you tell me otherwise, you're not watching boxing. You just like Rigondeaux. So I don't know, man. I think any fighters at this point of Rigondeaux's career, as long as you can avoid the left hand and have a good work rate, you can beat him. I think Julio Ceja showed that last night, but he wasn't able to avoid the left hand. He did everything great. He was punches to the body, he was double jabbing, he was jabbing downstairs, but he made one mistake and it cost him. And I guess in that regard, you could kind of say that Rigondeaux is kind of like the mini Adonis Stevenson / Wilder, where you can be perfect for you gotta be perfect for 12 rounds, and he can be perfect for 2 seconds, and he can beat you. So, you know, it's one of them things. But I maintain my position. The referee bailed out Rigondeaux last night, and I think Julio Ceja would have beat him, whether by stopping him or whether by outworking him and getting a decision. But that's my opinion on the fight. You guys can leave yours down below. And what do you guys think about Rigondeaux at 122? Do you think he's gonna go on to have a dominant title run if he can get the title from Ray Vargas? Let me know in the comments down below. You know, take the time to subscribe, like I say in every single video. You can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys.
Hi, my name is Clarissa Shields, and you're watching True School Sports.